Harper and HarlequinAudio present Run Like a Girl by Amaka Egbe, performed by Emokpae. To the girls who know what they want and go after it, and to the ones who are still building up the courage to try, this one's for you. 1. According to my mother, there is always food at home. To her, eating out was a sacred act strictly reserved for special occasions. Graduations, 8th grade and up. Birthdays, the big ones, like 16 or 95. And any major holiday that took place before August. It didn't matter if we'd spent the past week working our way through the same leftovers, or if someone, i.e. me, had a powerful craving for waffle fries. If there was food at home, we ate at home, and that was that. It goes without saying that when the same woman suggested we eat at Blue's Diner on an otherwise uneventful Thursday evening, I was suspicious. For good reason, as it would turn out. I'm sorry. I shook my head. What did you say? It was a question, technically, but the anger swelling in my chest hacked up the inquiry and sharpened it into an accusation. Mom's jaw, which had already been suspiciously tense, tightened further. I said, she began, eyes downcast, "You're going to be living with your father." It was my turn to clench my teeth. My father had a less than stellar presence in my life, a habit he'd adopted after my parents' rocky divorce. Initially, I'd thought his spotty appearances had to do with his decaying relationship with Mom. As the years passed, though, it got harder and harder not to feel as though it had something to do with me too, as if 6-year-old Dera played a role in their marriage's implosion. Going from that to living with the man didn't add up. I scanned Mom's face, noting the tension between her eyebrows. She even ate in a guilty fashion, spearing her salad as though she were going for blood rather than spinach leaves. So, I struggled to keep my voice even. This is a joke, right, Mom? The woman didn't look like she'd been kidding. And based on how everyone around us seemed more interested in their salt shakers than what was going on in our booth, I was willing to bet we weren't falling victim to some social media prank either. Still, my parents hated each other, and my dad likely hated me. This had to be a misunderstanding. Mom's attempt at a comforting smile looked more like a frown. I'm afraid it's not. Around us, the patrons of Blue's Diner continued about their business, filling the air with the mirthful chatter commonly associated with the eatery. Even the ambiance was painfully normal, complete with dark booths lining the interior, black and white tiles checkerboarding the floors, and vintage decorations splattered across the walls. In my distress, the normalcy was suffocating. I struggled to keep my cool with jagged, slow breaths. Like our earlier conversation, my mounting panic went unnoticed by the public. Weird how planet Earth kept spinning even when your world had been shoved off its axis. I know this isn't ideal. My eyes lifted, landing on Mom once more. Under the yellow-tinted lights hanging overhead, I could make out beads of sweat dotting her forehead. What had once looked like tension compressing her features now bordered distress. I also know, Mom continued, that your father can be a little difficult, but I wouldn't have even considered this if I didn't think you'd enjoy living with him. Eventually. She didn't believe that. I could tell by how furiously she spun the rings on her fingers. I don't want to live with him, I said. And I don't want to live away from you, or my friends. Worries and curses and fears all pooled together in my skull, a messy pile that almost made it hard to think. I shook my head, breathed some more as my thoughts crashed together. Where is this even coming from? I asked after a beat. Do you like... I hesitated over the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?